welcoming to the stage George Cleveland.
Wow, all that is about me. That's incredible. Thank you very much for asking me to speak today. It's a tremendous honor to be asked to speak here today, and as I've often said, it's a tremendous honor to be asked to speak anywhere. But it's just, to me, it's a real goosebumper to see this many of you here for this. I have a huge passion for history, too. And first of all, let me explain something, okay? Some of you are saying, hey, he's way too young to be the grandson of Grover Cleveland. So I'm sort of blessed with that, but it is true. I'll explain it briefly. I know this is history and not math, but Grover was born in 1837. He married my grandmother in 1886 in the White House. She was 21. My father was born in 1897. He met my mother when she was teaching his children from his first marriage. So what we did was we dropped 50 years, 2 whole generations. I was born an uncle, and instead of kissing cousins, we had like kissing nieces. So it worked out. Yeah, it still works. It's a little weird. However, if you want to hear something even more bizarre, this past weekend I was deep in the Ozarks of Missouri at the Marshfield, Missouri Cherry Blossom Festival and Presidential Family Reunion Weekend. It goes together, it really does. But I had a nice long talk with a guy who's John Tyler's grandson. Tyler was president 1841 to 1845. And this guy is only 82. So I guess Tyler sort of had his last offspring when he was somewhere in the 70s, in his 70s. So there's hope. What's it like being the grandson of Grover Cleveland? You know, it's not really like anything. I suppose the biggest thing that's different is you get asked to speak at History Day, award ceremony. It does give me a certain sense of heritage and connection, though, that's really, really fun. But it's nothing that any of you can't achieve as well by knowing the backgrounds of your family, or by being in a place where some incredible historical event has happened. You can begin to feel the vibe come off of there. That's part of the beauty of history. Another beauty of history is the fact, one of the big cliches, things wouldn't be cliches if they weren't true. So one of the big cliches is, that those of us who don't know our history are doomed to repeat it. And it's absolutely true. There's nothing new under the sun, only a few things that haven't happened yet that we don't know about. And then how things come around. This past weekend at this event in Missouri, I saw something that was absolutely impossible to even conceive of. We had representatives of 17 presidents' families there, starting from, I think, Monroe and Jefferson, both sides of Jefferson, slave side and legally married side, I might add. And true, they've been there. They met, these cousins, they met for the first time at this thing 4 years ago. We had the great-great-grandson of Jefferson Davis. And, my first reaction was, whoa, he's the enemy, he's the bad guy, what's he doing here? But then I took a picture of him standing arm in arm, smiling, with a direct descendant of Dred Scott. And that's just not a possible thing. That's nothing that you could conceive of happening. If you didn't know about Jefferson Davis and Dred Scott, the enormity of that event might not be evident. Now, unfortunately, there are only about 50 people that saw it, and there was no press. But I saw it, and I'm telling you about it. So let me tell you, miracles can happen. History is an amazing, amazing thing, and it's because it's what is right now is history. History. I look at history not as being linear. History is here now, and we're all living in it, and it's a magnificent place to live. One thing, now we have a lot of people here. In order for you guys to have gotten here, you have to have won something. You have to have been through early competitions in your community, perhaps in your region. And the fact that you're here is huge beyond all comprehension. I know you all worked hard to get here. There's no question about that. And to you who are going to be lucky enough to win here today, let me ask you this, and let me ask your parents, this of your parents, of your teachers, of your advisors. How many winners, when they go home, are going to get a parade led by the local fire engine? How many of the winners, when they go home, are going to get a proclamation from the mayor or the city council or the school board? I don't think as many of you are as there would be if you were a football team. I think what would be really nice is to see that get changed around a bit. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate what you've done. You've made families and friends and your schools proud. Let's let people know about this. It's great to have a sign up that you won, a certain class soccer championship, but wouldn't it be also, why is that any less than, winning a New York State history championship? It isn't. It really isn't. You had to work hard. You had to train your brain. You had to stand up there and sweat in front of a bunch of people, like staring at you like they have, laser beam eyes, just waiting for you. Half of you probably had to go to the bathroom the minute you stood up. So, the thing is, I know you're here because you enjoy history. I think if you could impart that love and that joy and that passion to other people, because it just makes things so sensible. When Grover Cleveland ran for office the first time in 1884, his first run for the presidency, it was considered today, even by our strict standards of sleaze today, it was considered to be the dirtiest campaign in American history. And they accused him of things like womanizing and things like draft dodging and things like, well, he's a governor, so he doesn't have any experience. And, there was a two-term president recently named Bill Clinton who had kind of the same issues. So you see, it really doesn't change. Sometimes, the actors run out and change costumes, put on new uniforms, get bigger guns, but it's really all the same, and by knowing it and appreciating it, you can be part of it. The theme of this year was the individual. And that's so important because you all got a chance to see how individuals can make huge marks in history by working together with other people. So when you get home, you call up the school board, you say, hey, our team won, or our team made it to the state finals. What are you going to do about it? And therefore hope to see, the fact that we're going to have to move to an auditorium twice as big tomorrow, or next year have it outside. So again, I really want to thank the folks at the New York State History Association for asking me to come out. I want to thank the history team from Grover Cleveland High School in Buffalo for roping me into this in the most wonderful possible way. And I just want to thank you guys. I'll tell you, to be able to see this many people turned on by history is, as I said, a tremendous thing, and I'm going to make sure a heck of a lot of people know about you guys that were here today. Thank you.